Hey everybody, it's Tim again, and I have something today from the modern horror film realm. As you can tell in the background, of course, I have my classic Universal monsters, but on occasion I review stuff that is more tied into the modern realm. Of course, if you can see in the background there, I have My Bloody Valentine and, of course, The Crooked Man from The Conjuring 2. And The Nun, the cloth version from The Conjuring 2. All of these are NECA figures, and I'd like to thank NECA up front for sending me this sample of The Nun, the ultimate Valak action figure to review for you. This is the 7-inch scale version of Valak. Of course, they previously issued the 8-inch cloth retro style version of the character. This one has a lot more to it. Let's just start by showing you the back of the box. Has the nun in all of her evil poses. Okay, and then, of course, this is like a book, which I think is kind of cool. You open that book, and inside is the nun. Okay, and what's really great about this one, like the cloth retro version, the 8-inch version, it has an extra portrait, but it also has this orb along with the painting in the back, which I think is really cool. So, I can just tell right now there's a lot of differences between this one and the cloth figures. So, of course, we have to have a cool looking portrait here in the middle. I really love this character. Now, this character debuted in, again, The Conjuring 2, and it's had quite a successful run as its own, in its own series of films. Of course, we had The Nun in, what year was that? That was 2018. And then earlier this year, it was probably around September or so, we had The Nun 2. And it's just a frightening character. Bonnie Aarons plays the character, and I'm going to pop this action figure out of the box so we can get the review of NECA's version of The Nun from the Conjuring universe. Okay, I'm back with the unboxed version of The Nun, the ultimate Valak figure from NECA. And after I'm done just showing you the details, I'm going to do a comparison with the 8-inch Mego style figure. I guess it's not obviously a Mego figure, it's a NECA figure. And well, I'll show you the two of those side by side once I'm done here. Some of the accessories that come with this, of course, are the crucifix that you hang around her neck, and then here is the portrait up close. And isn't that frightening? It should be. It just really nails the portrait perfectly from the film. It's a frightening character. I mean, this character has taken off and certainly deserves an action figure. Now, if I am recalling this correctly, this is actually the third 7-inch scale figure from the Conjuring universe that NECA has done. They also did Annabelle, the creepy doll, which I have in storage somewhere. I do have that 7-inch scale figure. And then again in the back, you can see the Crooked Man right back here. Now, The Nun was introduced again in The Conjuring Part 2, as well as The Crooked Man. I think Annabelle might have turned up in that one too. By far the three scariest characters in those films. Conjuring Universe by James Wan, Gary Dauberman. Great stuff, man. I know Gary Dauberman was excited about the figure from NECA, the cloth version back here, the 8-inch scale one, when I interviewed him for The Nun, actually, when it came out. So, okay, so what I'm going to do is give you a quick 360 of this character. All right, and we'll move that a little bit closer here. You know, what's really great about this is I love the cloth version, the 8-inch scale version, but NECA shows you that, with like the Dracula figure, it had the cloth cape. With the Phantom of the Opera, it has the cloth cape. I mean, they do have soft goods with their figures, which is terrific. So, you know, instead of getting a full plastic get up here, they could have gone that route, but they go with the full cloth outfit, which just makes the figure that much more attractive. So yeah, I'm really thrilled that they did that. And of course we have on top of that the great accessories that come with their ultimate figures. Now here is the screaming version of the nun. And of course that is very similar to the portrait here. So I don't know if we can both focus at once. But certainly I'll put the screaming portrait on here and put it side by side. So yeah, that's terrific right there. And let's stop this here. On top of that, we have an extra set of hands, very creepy hands. Okay. Remind me a lot of the hands from Bela Lugosi's Dracula figure that NECA did. And again, I'd like to thank NECA for providing me this sample to review for you. I have seen this figure at Brick and Mortar. Of course, you can get it online as well. All right. And hopefully there's going to be another Conjuring film coming out, hopefully even featuring the nun. And then let's just pop this off real quick. See how easy now. There we go. And put this one on. Okay, we got that one on. That was a little tougher than I thought it might be. Of course, I took a quick pause. Didn't want to try to push this thing too hard and break the peg off. I've never had that problem with NECA figures, but I wanted to be extra careful. So here we are with the screaming portrait. Now let's put on the habit and give you a closer look at the figure along with the orb. A very, very cool accessory that comes with it. Now here we have both of these figures together. As you can see, the scale is definitely noticeable. You got a bigger portrait for the head. Now this one actually does come with an extra portrait as well, where it's more of a stare with the mouth closed. Now, of course, she has the belt here. Now, as you can see, this is cloth. If you look up here closer, there's actual design work that you can see in the belt. Again, it's always about details for these guys. You can see the texture there and the design, and there's a closer look at the orb. Okay, and also this figure here on the right doesn't have a crucifix where the one on the left does. And of course, I love this too, having this oil painting, faux oil painting from Patrick Wilson's character Ed Warren, tops it off along with the extra portrait here. And let's see if we can give you that one a little closer there. And do some side shots here. And of course, I'm including pictures with this as well, so you can get a look at the details. It just seems like the sculpt is more refined. Even though the figure here, these two figures, you have a bigger head sculpt, it just seems like, again, the Ultimates, there's just more detail in it, which is pretty amazing considering that it's actually smaller than that. Now, again, this is a 7-inch scale figure, so it comes in a tick under 7 inches, and this one comes closer to, well, it's over 7.5, closer to 8. And if you look in the back here, then the Crooked Man, he measures at about 8 inches or so. But 7-inch scale, meaning that everything's in proportion to how you see it on screen. You're not going to want to get an Annabelle figure that's 8 inches tall and is as tall as everything else. It's a smaller figure. Very frightening figure. Again, I have that stashed somewhere in my archives because, as you can about imagine, I review a lot of movie action figures. So I do have that one. I hope to dig it out and show you a comparison shot of all 3 of the Conjuring universe figures from NECA so far. I'm really hoping that we get a Curse of La Llorona figure at some point from NECA, even though it's not officially part of the Conjuring universe. Michael Chaves, who directed the second Nun film, actually directed the Curse of La Llorona. He has the sensibilities of the Conjuring universe dialed right in. And how about some Ed and Lorraine Warren action figures? You know, Vera Farmiga's Lorraine Warren and Patrick Wilson's Ed Warren. That would be really, really cool. And as this Conjuring universe expands, I mean, let's get some ancillary characters in there as well as any potential new villains that we see coming down the pike. So overall, again, I think this is a terrific figure. Fits in well with the other Conjuring universe figures that we have here. I think this one is well worth collecting if you want that, especially if you're an 8-inch scale figure collector. But this one really rocks it. I love that they have the cloth outfits. You know, they could have gone with plastic very easily. But I don't know, man. It just seems that much more authentic when they take the time to do that. As you can see in the back, I mean, look at Dracula's cape. I can't imagine a plastic cape on there, but NECA took the initiative to give it the proper cape that the character needed. So, okay, here it is to wrap up the review and unboxing of the Nun Ultimate Valak action figure. Again, I'd like to thank NECA for providing this sample for me to review for you. This figure, if you see her at brick and mortar, you know, she's going to run you, which is, you know, anywhere between $31.99 to $34.99, depending on where you get her, you know, brick and mortar or online. Again, I think it's well worth it, though. I mean, again, the fact that NECA gives you these ultimate, these releases with extra head sculpts and accessories really, really makes it worth it. Of course, we know there are companies out there, Hasbro, that doesn't extend that courtesy, and they charge just as much for their so-called deluxe figure. So I'm telling you, this is well worth it. That's it for today's review. Please tell all your Conjuring Universe loving friends about this video. Please like the video. Please subscribe. Please get notifications for every time I post a new video. And I will be back with another review very soon. Happy toy hunting, everybody.